Wow. Wow. What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy SLS in the house. We're gonna be talking about that Jerry Epstein list today. Wow. There has been oh man. There has been so much exposure that is crazy. And especially in dealing with in the music industry. But we're gonna hear a little bit about it from Marcus Rogers. He's a pretty credible guy. Um, I've been watching him for years now, and he's usually on point, pretty much with everything that what I guess what God is showing him. If you want to take that religious route. But yeah, let's check him out, man. Let's check out Mark. Now I'm gonna tell you, looking at this right here, and when you line this up along the lines of Cat Williams' Unleashed interview with Shannon Sharp, it's almost like you're getting more evidence of what's really been going on. And what's been crazy about it is that, man, they have always made us feel like, you got to work hard to get to where you're going. Now, I don't doubt that you have to work hard or, you know what I'm saying, to be the best that you can be, but there's certain type of breaks or there's certain type of routes or shortcuts that you can take to get you there faster than what to get you there faster. But let's go ahead. Let's check out Marcus Rogers and what he's talking about. Copyright is in effect as of now.
What's going on, everybody? So 2024 is just starting off with a bang, and it just seems like it's going to be a year of exposure,
Exposure.
and a lot of things coming to light. So a lot of people have been waiting, for this list to come out. So the list came out, bunch of names on it. I'll read you some of the names, but it's very important to understand the context of some of the names that are on this list. Also, I seen Cat Williams do this interview with Shannon Sharp, and he was exposing some things in the industry. We know the things about the gatekeepers and certain things that you have to do, to go to other levels. And so, with that being said, all right, I'm just gonna just kind of read to you. I couldn't. I'm gonna show you some documents that I put on the computer for you to see, but I'm just going to read some of the names here that were on this list, and then we're going to talk about it because this really blew my mind. So Kate Blanket, I don't know who that is. Naomi Campbell, Bill Clinton, of course, was on the list. David Copperfield, the magician, I believe he is. Cameron Diaz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Al Gore, Stephen Hawking was another one. Michael Jackson, he was on the list. All right, or he was in the documents. George Lucas from Star Wars, of course, Maxwell, his wife, Bill Richardson, Kevin Spacey, and they have Donald Trump mentioned as well. Bruce Willis. All right, now Prince Andrew, of course. Now, what's so crazy about this, right? Before I went live, I said, let me go watch, all the news stations to see how they report on this. I looked at some of the actual documentation, the court documents. I'm about to pull it up here in a minute. And it just blew my mind. I don't know, like, if these people just think that we're just dumb or we're stupid, but they are very manipulative with the way that they present the information. Now, this is why I always tell you, like, you got to do your own research for yourself. You got to go, even watching this video that I'm presenting, my advice to you is to go just look at.
And he's right. You gotta be able to look at the information yourself and do your own research. You know, it's good that we bring the information to you of we letting you know what's going on and what's out here and knowing wake up and all this other type of stuff. But at the same time, do your own research.
It up for yourself if you have the time. And so as I'm watching the news and I'm looking at how they're presenting it, okay, the list came out. All of us have been waiting for the list, right? And if you don't know what this is about, it's about Epstein and his wife, sex trafficking underage girls. We know that. Well, they said he committed suicide while he was locked up. So I'm watching CBS, right? And right away, as soon as they reported, they're like, "Yeah, the list just came out," and they just excuse Clinton. Like they get all these excuses, and they don't even mention what I'm about to show you in the documents. What one of the young ladies said about Clinton, and so they just pass right by Clinton. They're like, "Yeah, he was mentioned on the list." They said that there was a dinner. Maxwell said it wasn't true, and so they make a pass for Clinton, and then they just go into speculation about Donald Trump. Same thing. So that was CBS. Then I watched it on ABC, and the same thing. They failed to mention what's in the actual document, and so I'm going to show it to you. Right. So there's something in the document. I'm pulling it up right now. You're going to see it for yourself, and it's like, well, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? And then with Trump, pretty much in the document, it says he never went to the island. He was never there, but they're speculating. Like, it's like you got hardcore evidence, right? That Clinton, was there, that he went to the island, that this is what was said about him. The only thing they say about Trump, I'm going to show it to you, but it's just so interesting how they present, the news. So let me pull this up. Let me show it to you. All right. And we'll go from there. All right. So this is part of the document. All right. So they're asking the question, and I knew he had dealings with Bill Clinton. This is one of the victims. I did not know they were friends until I read the Vanity Fair article about them going to Africa to get together. Did Jeffrey ever talk to you about Bill Clinton? He said one time that Clinton likes them young, referring to the girls, right? So this is in the document, and I just think it's interesting that they just keep leaving that part of it out. Now, in reference to Trump, here's the mention of Trump. Now you see, there's some other people, like it says George Lucas, right? His name is mentioned here, but that doesn't mean that he was on the island or anything to do. They just asked the question. So you get, before you just run and jump to conclusions, you got to understand that some of the names that were mentioned here, for whatever reason, they were brought up in the documents, but it doesn't mean that they were on the island. So the list that is released is not saying these people were on the island. I don't want to present, false information to you or nothing. I don't have no hidden agenda. I'm just reporting, what I saw. So here's the question. Asking about these people. Donald Trump, no. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. All right. And then I think there was another reference here. And I had to put it like this. Okay, yeah. Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In New Mexico? No, not that I can remember. In New York? Not that I can remember. All right, if you could turn to the second page and read through those. So right there, right, when Donald Trump, because they say Trump was mentioned on the list, so people jump to this conclusion that that means that Trump is on the island. So out of, between Bill Clinton and Trump, it's clear, right, that the people are saying Trump was never at the island. I never saw him there. But for some reason, when the news and the media present it, they leave that part out. Like they're not reporting what's actual in the document. And then with Clinton, they're not reporting that, oh, one of the victims says he likes his girls young. I just think that's manipulative. And like I told you guys yesterday when we talked about the immigration stuff, there is some kind of agenda behind all of this stuff. Now, mind you, it's crazy how they give this guy the benefit of the doubt, how they're trying to excuse him. This is Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton. This is, I'm sitting in the White House, right? And I have no self-control. Like I'm in the White House in the Oval Office, and I'm like, yeah, come here, girl. Let's do something. Like that's crazy, right? And now think about it. It's the same thing we see over and over again. I've seen some of the images from Hunter Biden's laptop. That dude is a nasty dude. It is what it is. And so my point is this. Listen, if what was being said about Clinton was being said about Trump, that's all we would see on the news today. That's it, it would never stop. If one of Trump's kids, right, what was on Biden's son's laptop was one of Trump's kids, we would see it all over the news. And so my point is, I get that, they tell you like Trump is this and all that kind of stuff like that. But if he was one of the good boys, right? If he was in the good boys club, he would get that same kind of treatment. the way that they just keep excusing the behavior, the way that they try to hide it. Like, really, can we just be real? You guys know I like to talk real. If it was one of Trump's sons, man, the images, I don't know if you've seen the images and the stuff that is on Hunter Biden's laptop. That dude is a nasty dude, high out of his mind, on the beach with the jacket, got all these different videos and pictures, with these different women and stuff that he's paid for. If that was one of Trump's son, man, they would be just exposing it nonstop. So, like I said, there's these elite families, and whether you want to admit it or not, Trump is obviously now he's in some kind of level of fame and inner circle, but he's not in that inner circle because every chance they get, they try to bash him. The documents come out. They say Trump was never on the island. Trump never got a massage. Trump they're asking, was he in New York? Was he in this? And the answer is no, 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 no. But when they report the news this morning, they're still speculating about Trump and they're giving Clinton a pass. It's just facts, guys. Whether you like it or not, that's suspect to me. So yeah, there were some other people on there: Prince Andrew, David Copperfield, Michael Jackson was mentioned. But I need to make it clear, because these names were mentioned in these documents, it doesn't mean
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products.
that it's not saying that they were on the island, right? It's just the documents from the court proceedings. Certain questions were asked, certain people were brought up for whatever reason, but just because their name is on there doesn't mean that they went to the island. So, I'm not going to make this video long, but it just reminds me of when the Bible talks about in the last days, strong delusions and all of that kind of stuff. The media is going to try to, I don't know, honestly, they think we're all dumb, right? They're gonna present the story in a certain way to demonize some people, and then they try to cover up for other people. That's just the reality of what it is. And we've seen through the years now consistently, for whatever reason, when it comes to the Clintons, when it comes to Obama, when it comes to what is these guys, the Bidens, it's like the media is trying to protect them. Now, it's like they'll take speculation and they will run with it. They'll take a rumor and they'll report it like crazy as the truth. Just think about it. I want to challenge your thinking, right? The Russia collusion. Like, everything that they accused Trump of, every time they've tried to get him, it ended up not being true. But you got people out there that they believe it was true because the media just runs it, and then because the media neglects to report the news accurately and unbiasedly, there's people who have no clue what was on Biden's son's laptop. There's people that have no clue that Trump was found innocent or that he was found right about a lot of the stuff that he was saying, because people don't do their own research. They just rely on the news. And so you end up being brainwashed because they have a plan. They have a strategy. They know who they want to keep in power to push certain agendas. And that's just the bottom line, guys. So, yeah, Bill Gates, he was on the list. No surprise. You see what I'm saying? So my advice to you is just do your own research and just be careful. They try to shape your perspective about certain people, and you got to ask yourself, well, why? Why are you trying to get me to hate this person? Why do you not want me to know this information about that person? Why do you keep trying to destroy this person? I think those are the kind of questions you got to ask yourself. All right, I'm gonna keep this video short. Go to www.marcusrogersministries.org if you want to support what we're doing here in Chicago. So y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful day in Jesus' name. Be back in a little bit.
Man, as you can see, there has been a lot of favoritism shown when you look at the Democratic and the Republican Party. So what happens is when you look on CBS and the mention of the names on the list, they start speculating or start speculating around the fact that was Trump there at the house, or has Trump ever been, they're asking about Trump, but clearly in the Democratic party, um, what's his name, Bill Clinton, shown that it was there, and then also you have witnesses says that he likes women that are young. So you got to look at all of what's going on and be able to read between the lines of how to determine or understand the information that's being presented to you. Because a lot of times we hear something and we go with it, and if you hear something long enough, it's just like talking to a girl long enough, or steady planting that seed, and you trying to get something, you're gonna eventually get, you know what I'm saying, what you set out accomplished to to get. And that's the desired result. And that's the same thing as desired result of same desired result of when the news portrays or propaganda the same thing over and over and over and over again, to a point to where it becomes truth. So let's get back in here. We're gonna get back on Marcus Rogers a little bit. Let me look it up. He has something else. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all give me just a minute. Marcus Rogers. Let me go here. Let me go to his. Okay, this is it right here. Cat Williams just exposed everybody in the demonic industry. So yeah, let's. I really like his point of view of things. We line up.
What's going on, everybody? So, man, 2024 is starting off with a bang, but I just think it's interesting that two of the biggest stories circulating right now within the first 2 or 3 days
My bad,
status
Charlie.
that you're.
My bad. Let's start over.
What's going on, everybody? So, man, 2024 is starting off with a bang, but I just think it's interesting that two of the biggest stories circulating right now within the first 2 or 3 days of January is obviously the Epstein list, and now this interview that Cat Williams did that is, breaking the internet right now. And he said a lot of things. Now, what some people are going to do is they're going to just, they're going to write him off,
Dismiss
as
it.
he's just some drugged out, guy or something like that, especially when he starts talking about, people's idols and things like that. That's how it tends to go in both cases. We see the same thing. So, whether they're talking about Clinton or whoever it is, like when you start talking about people's idols, there's people that they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to know the truth. And I think, man, he got the industry shook. All right. All this stuff that's going on with Diddy, and different individuals, different celebrities. It just seems like a lot of stuff is coming out. We saw what was going on with Bishop William Murphy. We hear these rumors right now about Bishop TDJs. It's a lot of stuff that is going on. And it just looks like, I'm going to be honest, 2024 looks like it's going to be a year of just
Exposure.
exposure. And so Cat Williams, he was calling a lot of people out, a lot of these different comedians and movie stars, and he was talking about the gatekeepers, that are in the industry. There's certain things that you've got to do, what I'm saying, to go up certain levels. Notice we've been talking about that for the last several weeks. It's the same thing in the Christian music scene. I told you guys before how K Love was like, oh, we're not going to play this artist music because they speak out against the LGBTQ agenda. This is a Christian radio station, that was saying this. And so he was talking about how on his side, there's certain anal and oral, things that are trying to be solicited. I think he mentioned Weinstein or Weinstein, whatever that guy's name is, and Diddy. And then he was kind of alluding to the fact that some of these comedians that went to that next level kind of, sold their soul to do that. So he talks a lot about protecting his integrity and things like that. And the thing that was interesting to me, and I'm going to play just a little bit of the clip. All right. I just wanted to wait for a few to log in. The thing that was interesting is when I saw some of the responses, right? Cat Williams talks about this guy, Ricky Smiley. He says, he plays a good woman just like Medea. He talks about, these black men being put in a dress, his refusal to do so. And so Ricky Smiley responded. He says, we want to wish Cat Williams the best. It's nothing but love over here. Cedric, the entertainer, also responded to some of the things that Cat Williams was talking about. He says, All that tough talk is corny AF. I'm a grown man. None of that SHIT is gonna go how you think. You do you, and I got this over here. Then he lists his accolades, right? So the responses were just kind of interesting. And even Kevin Hart had also responded, and his response was, "You need to get that anger up out of you, champ." But they didn't come against the allegations that were actually being made to me. So it just kind of seemed kind of political. So let's play a couple of these clips, real short. I want to talk about it, and then I got this actual preacher. I forgot what the preacher's name is, but he said some interesting stuff about Medea and talking about RuPaul, the and the drag and stuff like that. So let me pull this up, make it a little bit bigger. I just play just a little bit of the intro, and we'll talk about it.
Dave Chappelle walked away from 50 million.
People say that he lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times, just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right.
Wow.
So obviously you guys know what he means when he says that, right? Talking about a lot of these guys, to get certain movie parts, they have to, either do something orally or do something in the back door to get the part. And so what he's saying is he's turned down a lot of money, something probably similar with David Chappelle, because he did not want to lose, his integrity, his values. Pretty much, he didn't want to sell his soul to go to the next level in the industry.
He didn't be wanting to body, and you gotta tell him no.
Let's bring that back.
And you gotta tell, and that virgin hole I was telling you about, right? Because P Diddy be wanting to body, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. Martin tried to put me in my first dress, pull out Big Mama's house too. I almost died. Michael Jackson called him Christmas. You ever met a man that gave you a little nickname like that?
No.
Me neither.
All right, so hold on, I'm gonna pause it right here. Now, pretty much you see he's talking about, and you can go watch the interview for yourself if you want, but he's taking a lot of shots. And the main thing is that he's alluding that there's certain gatekeepers in the industry, in the movie industry. And he's pretty much saying like, hey, you guys had to put on a dress to do XYZ. You had to do these acts to get to where you're going. And we've seen that this has been a common thing that is getting talked about, that is getting exposed with a lot of just different, movie stars, P. Diddy, got all that kind of stuff going on. And so, like I said, it just seems like it's a year of exposure. We got the Epstein list. We got all these different things that are just coming out with a bang. Right there, going into the new year at the end of last year. And so this preacher, excuse me, he had something real interesting to say, about the whole Medea situation. And I thought, I might as well go ahead and just add that in here, let you guys listen to it, because it was a very interesting perspective. Let's play that real quick.
She'll be pushing it. Her, Tyler Perry.
I'm about Oprah.
All of them. Tyler Perry fooled the whole black community. He got us to do what RuPaul couldn't get us to do. He got us to do what no one else, and he came up with an ingenious way to do it. He and he alone got black folk to accept drag. And you know how he did it? He did it through laughter, through humor. He got us to accept drag queens. That's all Medea is a drag queen. So, and you know what he did? He went to churches. Went to a place where he could go where you could almost guarantee folk ain't gonna be thinking. They won't reason. There won't nobody say, wait a minute. This man can't find an overweight black woman.
Bishop Wooden, yeah, that's his name.
A fat sister in the black church. You got to pretend to be her. You can look at it. You can blindfold yourself and look in her direction and find a Medea. But through laughter,
Wow.
we let our guard down and made him a billionaire. And made him a billionaire. And through the devil learning how to manipulate our emotions and make us feel something.
Think about what he's saying real quick. I just want to pause that. Through laughter, we let our guard down. Now the Bible talks about, just guarding your ear gates, guarding your eye gate. And sometimes, a lot of these people are good at what they do, right? But because it is funny, right? Some of it's funny or whatever, not even just with the Medea situation, right? We kind of let our guard down and we let certain things into our house. We let certain, things, that we're viewing on our phone or whatever it is. And you have to remember that the devil is really good at what he does. And some of the points that he made, I never really thought too much about it. I know how Tyler Perry came on the scene, but just the way that he worded it, he said that Tyler Perry, and them got us to do something that RuPaul couldn't do, which is accept drag. And he brought it to the church. And everybody in the beginning, it was like Tyler Perry's a Christian and all of that. And you see, like, where the direction some of these movies and these shows have went, but he said through laughter, we let our guard down, essentially, talking about through emotions. You know what I'm saying? And that's something to really think about, because we always talk about, the Bible says doctrines of devils, seducing spirits. The enemy is constantly going to try to appeal to your emotions, right? Whether it's, anger, disappointment, discouragement, laughter, making you smile, making you feel good. It's like, oh, this is funny. And then he says, we made him a billionaire. Like, he strategically came to the church, presented it like, oh, and I, if I remember correctly, and I'm not too sure, I would see like the little cuss in here, and then I'm like, man, this is supposed to be like, church. Like, these guys are Christians that are making this, and I thought it was odd, having a big man, dressed like a woman. And he makes a good point. Like, you couldn't find an actual, funny woman to play Medea in the black community. You know what I'm saying? And so it's something to think about on every level, right? We say, oh, it's just entertainment, but there's, like with a lot of things, there's an agenda behind it. And so if you put this with what Cat Williams was talking about, he's saying, like, this seems to be the price that a lot of people have to pay, especially with black men in the black community. At some point in time, you have to put a dress on to go to that next level of the movies. So what the Hollywood is trying to tell you as well, Cat Williams, he didn't make it to the next level because he was doing X, Y, and Z. He was into drugs. And Cat Williams is saying, no, I turned down a lot of money and I turned down a lot of roles. Like, if you watch the interview, and he's talking about Ricky Smiley and all these kind of things, and Kevin Hart, he said they came to me with those roles, but something about, I think, what was it, Next Friday? He said initially they wanted the Money Mike character to get how would you say? I want to be careful how I say this on YouTube. But you know what happens in prison? Pretty much they wanted that to happen. And he's like, no, I'm pretty much not comfortable with that. And that is not funny in any instance. Whether that happens to a man or a woman, this is supposed to be a comedy movie, and that's not funny. So they actually changed it. You know what I'm saying? And so he's saying this has been my character throughout. Saying I've turned down these roles where they've wanted to put me in a dress, or where, and he just came out and said it, right? Harvey Weinstein wanted him to do X, Y, and Z, for the role. So there's an agenda behind this stuff. And essentially what he's saying is these people that have went to the next level, at some level, they have sold their soul. Let's play the rest of this clip.
And we're beginning to put our color ahead of our religion.
That's very true.
Satan is trying to creep in that way.
That's very true right there. Let me see, was the clip done? Yeah. Okay, that was very true. What he said right there. I've always been a big preacher about what? Kingdom over culture. And so sometimes, even with our race, we can be deceived. I'm sitting here trying to look at, let me see. Actually, I guess I'll just maybe share this screen with you guys. I'm looking at something on Google. I just wanted to kind of look at it. Let's see, share screen. I just wanted to actually just take a peek at this. All right. So, black man in dresses Let me make this smaller. I just kind of want to scroll it. Okay, so we've got this is the Billy Porter guy who was in Cinderella. What is this? This is Jamie Foxx. This is Jamie Foxx again. This is the Wayans brothers. Obviously, we have Eddie Murphy. Obviously, we have Martin on his show. He dressed as Shanae. Then we have Martin as Big Mama. We've got Medea. All right. This is, I believe, Kid Cudi right here. Yeah, man. This is a thing. You know what I'm saying? And so he said what his explanation was like, I refuse to do that, you know? So yeah, and no, it's not just the black community, but if we're being honest, man, like if you look at every TV show, if you look at every like Disney movie, I remember I was keeping a record for a while. Like the gay character was always black. Let me see. It was let me just pull it up on Google because sometimes you just gotta see it. Um I think it was some superhero movie, The Immortals. I think the black guy was gay. The Disney movie, what or Buzz Lightyear, that female was gay. Um, there was another one. I was keeping a record for it for a while, and a lot of the TV shows. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. I'm gonna pull this up. I want to do specifically Disney because they do it with the kids as well. But yes, this is just happening. Period. All right, here we go. Let's share screen.
Oh my bad.
Was talking about. There was some other TV show I saw the other day with some teachers. You know, they had a guy, and so I mean, regardless, it's happening. You know, in the industry, period. And you got to realize with the Epstein list coming out, Cat Williams coming out with this, the stuff with Diddy coming about, it goes back to what the Bible talks about. You know, the lust of the flesh and all of that kind of stuff. These people, they're never going to find the fulfillment that they are looking for in sex and drugs and none of that stuff. And if you look at some of the documents that the girl who was dating Diddy leaked, you know, she was talking about, you know, he was bringing the drugs in, he was bringing in, you know, other males and watching them do stuff with her and things like that. Because you get rich and you get all that money, you get all that fame, and it's like you can have, you know, pretty much whatever you want. So you have one beautiful woman, that's not enough, you know. And so you go cheat, or you go get a second girl, or you get a third girl. Now you done had two girls, three girls at the same time, and that doesn't get you aroused anymore. So now you want to bring a guy in. Like that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? So um it's just the reality. Like these people are looking for some kind of fulfillment that they're not going to find in sex, money, and then even we see, and we've talked about this, they try to play God, right? They try to do humanitarian stuff, right? Which really is antichrist stuff, right? Trying to control the weather. You know, doctors doing sex changes on people. People have hinted at, you know, population control. They're doing these things because there's a void in them, and they want to feel good about themselves before they die. They done had all the money, all the vacations, whatever, you know, sex type of sex they wanted to have, and it's still empty. You know, so it's just something to think about. There's a lot of sick stuff that's going on in this world, and it just looks like in 2024, it's going to continue to be exposed. So you got to watch what you watch. You got to stay in prayer, and you really just better be, you know, seeking God because it's crazy out here. Like looking at all this stuff just proves to me, you know, that the devil is real because it is evil, it is wicked. And it's not just, I want to be careful what I say so I don't get flagged, but it's not just, oh, and it's not just the men either, right? There's been some questionable behavior with a lot of these women as well. But it's not just, oh, let me bring in one woman, two women, three women, let me bring in a guy and a couple of girls, you know, and they're having these orgies. They're doing it with underage people. That's where the Epstein stuff comes in. And then, of course, there were some accusations against Diddy, and there's been accusations against certain preachers. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, guys. So hey, you guys, just be blessed. I'm done. You know, I just share this stuff so you can realize, yo, there's a spiritual war that's really going on out there. And these people that don't have Christ, it's just getting worse and it's getting worse. And God's bringing it into the light, you know, so people could wake up and think, no, it's not a game. And don't
Yeah, just to let y'all know, just like you said, man, it's getting crazy out there. All of this stuff kind of coincides. All this stuff coincides with the interview that Cat Williams did on the Club Shay show. I think it was Shannon Sharp, and it's a lot of stuff that's being exposed here, 2024. So I just wanted to kind of keep y'all on update what's going on. Y'all make sure y'all keep watching the channel. Make sure you subscribe here at SLS Entertainment LLC. Make sure you go to my Instagram at COLD3509, at COLD3509. My TikTok is Sean Stone 6261, Sean Stone 6261. Facebook, follow me over there at Sean Stone. All right, just want to say thank y'all for watching SLS Entertainment. Y'all have a wonderful day. We out.